they're not quite the fucking profile of a drug dealer. So I've been sarcastic as well. And they checked it. They kept their cool, because I wasn't actually swearing to them, but at them, or it's hard to time, but I was, It's again, we go back to this topic. Anger shows that you are upset, and you're upset because you're wrongly being accused, in this case, of something. If I said, oh no, that's not quite true, officers. Said, you're lying to us. Oh no, I'm not. Please don't hit me, all this shit. Right? I stood up to them. And I said, I've got nothing to be ashamed of here. I've done nothing wrong. And when they put me in the cells all night, I was a perfect gentleman. I had assholes. It's Friday night. I had assholes banging on the cell. Like bloody pathetic kids. These were your macho men. You see them when they're put in lockup. Oh, well, let me out. A bit more aggressive than that. But that's the gist of it. And yet they caused themselves to be put in that. They were drunk, basically. A lot of them just drunks. Sobering up and, what the police, not your taxis and that, the general procedures, you're locked up all night and that's it. Tough shit. You get down and go to fucking sleep. You've got any intelligence. Oh, fuck this. Oh, well, a good sleep to sober me up. Be polite to police. And after all, they're just doing their job. If I go round pissed out of my brain and shouting and whatever and causing a ruckus, you expect to be arrested. Well, I know I would. And I'd have as I said to police when I left, I said, your job, you do a good job. Not many people tell them that. Your job is to implement the law. In other words, if that's the law of the land, their job is to implement it. But then I turned around and said something quite cryptic, which I'm sure they could. I said, my job, possibly, and I did an open-handed like that, is to change the law. And I particularly obviously meant the law about marijuana. I said it's not a good law. Right? It needs to be changed. It's a corrupt law. There's no justification for the law, apart from lies. If you see that stuff that goes back to the 50s, when there was all this big shite about, the evil of marijuana, and they even had this pathetic video, right, and it was obviously acted, a woman, her middle class, and was meant to be stoned, and a man doing, all this fucking pathetic. It's obviously it's all conscrewed, and that there's an evil bastard behind it who saw an opportunity because something's illegal and the people want it to make money, because they'd had that with alcohol, you see. They had the alcohol prohibition and the gangsters moved in and there was fucking clubs and people were still drinking alcohol. So it wasn't working. What it was working was putting money into the hands of gangsters. The same with marijuana. People still want it and will get it and risk every day of their lives. They risk losing their job. Because you get put in prison for a marijuana offence, no employer's going to re-employ you again. So it is. And you wonder why people get paranoid? For fuck's sake, you idiots. Yeah, you get paranoid. People get paranoid because they are more intelligent and sensitive when they're high, and they realise, fuck me, if someone suspects I'm high, and it can now, you have blood tests, I can, be in deep shit and lose all my freedom, lose my job, and then it just, escalates. Yeah. Well, I don't now, but when I did, I did pray. I said, Father God, protect me. And I did amazing things. I said this earlier. Under the influence of LSD, I'd drive a car home if I had to, if I was called to serve. And the angelic kingdom did alter my psychiatric state. And I received an anointing of peace and calmness. And I kept praying all the time. So I realised if I suddenly burst into full bloom hallucination, driving a car, even though I was going slow, 30 miles an hour, it could be a bit of a problem. Because all it would be, you're no longer able to see the road, the things clearly, and you hallucinate and create whatever is possible. That's where that these ancient teachings are right, that we create our own reality. And we're doing it all the time, doing it now. Get it? And this is where nuclear physicists have proven. When you observe the atom, the observer affects the phenomena. So nuclear, is it whatever? A highly magnifiable microscope, it's got a fancy name, but basically it's really high, is able to separate and see just one atom. Right? But what they've noted and known for many years is the observer affects the observed. And so one person will see a wave of energy and another person will see a particle. It's the same thing, but it's being seen in two different ways. Clearly, as far as you can, demonstrating that the observer affects the observed. On that note, yeah, it's gone 12 o'clock. I'm going to just stop, and I'm not going to upload this bastard now. And I know no one's hearing this. I'm not mad, but I mean, that's it. I've been told this. When I channel like this, although no one actually is watching it, on a subconscious level, and we've all got that, their subconscious minds are being affected. It's called like a positive affirmation, right? It's like everything I'm saying and projecting out now, even though in the guise of anger, is that marijuana is sacred. It is not a drug, right? The Tibet crisis, right? Another, just some cookie. China are corrupt. China are the leaders, the minute are psychopathic. They have no natural, it's not fear, no natural dislike of slaying innocent people, unarmed people, prostituting or think that their religious statues, their buildings of worship, right? Because they arrogantly, psychopathically think there's no God. And unfortunately, Western science did promote this idea and probably started it. So they're just people who are trying to be the Western way because they relate it to material success. But they're learning the hard way. Because as more and more people click on that they're a bunch of bastards and they have abused these beautiful Tibetan people and stolen their land, and they've got the courage of their convictions, they get together and say, well, we're not going to buy anything Chinese. Shove it up your fucking ass, right? It probably won't happen as drastic as that, but, that's it. It will become uncool to buy Chinese, even though it is the cheapest shit you can buy. That's it. People will actually ask in shop, where's this made, please? I'm not interested, thank you. And it gets back to the buyers. People are telling our shop assistants they don't want it if it's made in China. Maybe we should buy an alternative brand and give the customer the choice. So then the sales system says, oh yes, well this is made in China. It's a bit cheaper than this, but this is made in where? Uruguay or whatever, but you pay a little bit more. Now what do you think the person's going to do is convince that China's a bunch of bastards and that they get karmic due, if you like, if they support these bastards, you buy the product from another country. It's as simple as that. Because it comes out and is put out by people who are accepted as being spiritually aware. I mean, I haven't got that position yet. Oh, I have actually. I'll end on that. I have been accredited by the head monk of Nain as being a bodhisattva. Now, you can be a bodhisattva in different levels, but oh yeah. Why? I went to offer this man obeisances as I was about to leave, and he tapped my head like this. No. We equal. You don't need to bow down to me and kiss my feet and all this bollocks, No, get up. He said, get up, come on. No. Takes one to know one. And he was a humble person like me. He was selling the incense. And he looked after the dogs. That's one of his ministries. They've got a gang of dogs, and he's the dog man. And you see that. Anyone strange comes in there, they protect him, and he's the only person that's got any control over them. I tried, and I'm pretty good with animals, but, dogs are a one-man sheep, if you follow me. And he feeds them. And the thing, I'm a visitor. They can suss I don't fear them. They can suss I even love them. But at the end of the day, he's the head of the pack. You probably dogs have this mentality, and he's the leader of the pack. Oh, but if he, which he did as a leader of the pack, make a fuss at me, I'll sit down, Graham, and hold my hand and say, which he has done, right? The dogs would pick up on that as well. Oh, he's friend. He's all right. He's not bothering our, master. He's actually friend. And Jap's got a dog, and the same thing. This dog had been abused by a man, right? She's a she as well. She'd been beaten and that. And I sussed this, but I just thought, like, give it time, as I was coming to visit Jap. And she did. It's fantastic. When I left, she would come to me, which she wouldn't before. She'd let me stroke her, which she wouldn't before. I mean, she nearly snapped at me once because there is an area on her back that's still pretty sore, but Jap pays her in anti-tick shampoo, and she lets him because she knows it's probably ticks, you see, and she's probably got some little sores, but she's had her coat cut short, and she looks beautiful because she's if you feel, that's what I feel, if you feel dirty because you're always contaminated, go and have a bloody shower. And that's what I need to do. I've had a shower at 5 or something in the morning. But no, I'm going to get some food. And I'll see you soon. Anyone that did want to, I feel them, because hardly anyone is watching these videos, but then I put this out. I've got a Skype address. I'd love to hear from you, and we can have a chat live, free. And the Skype address is moondog6969. And all you do is either apply, whatever. But more importantly, this is a Mac computer, and it will only allow me to speak to other Mac users. And I think you can just ring someone up, even though and they can decline at source, because you've got to think and say, do you accept this call or reject it? And if you reject it, it won't even let that call come through again. But you can't release it. But it's fantastic. It's better than the Skype because there's hardly any traffic on it. Skype's got, whatever, and it's totally free. Where Skype still, you pay a little fee for broadcast calls, a lot cheaper than conventional phone, but I mean, it still is costing you money. It's not an hour. I mean, I've done an hour before, I must admit, but I'm waffling. And I will do another video, hopefully with good news. The best news I can receive is YouTube and Facebook are going to reimburse me the £500, just under, that they took for adverts. I mean, they can afford it, and billionaires, and I am not, they can check that out, not a commercial concern. I'm not selling anything. The videos, this is freely for people to watch. And the healing mandalas are given to people freely with no charge. That would be some good news because Jap needs some more money. She's actually got a bit ill, and I'm afraid one of the things in Phuket or Thailand is that you can see a doctor for free, obviously, but if there's any drugs involved or prescription, you will pay for it. It's a different thing. I'm tired. I was going to go on to another thing, but no. See you soon. Bye for now. It's goodbye from me, and it's goodbye from him. That's the thing on Walking Wise.